everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Joypad Podcast. We are running at 75% capacity today. I'll say 75% manpower, but probably more like 60% capacity because Tom's not here. He is hopefully on his way to his vacation. He's having some trouble traveling, which it sounds like a lot of people are having trouble traveling recently, airports and stuff. But I don't go anywhere, so I don't have to worry about that. I am joined by Megan and Mr. Michael Fleming, who is looking at something.
Hello.
Are you continuing our listen? I'm gonna tell everyone what we were talking about. We have an ongoing Facebook message, and we're talking about poop. Glad everyone knows that now.
Everybody does it.
Yes. Hello, YouTube.
Everybody poops. That's right.
Everybody poops.
I am drinking water and another Gatorade. I think I had Gatorade last week too. I'm feeling Gatorade, which is bad because it's a lot of sugar and a lot of salt, and I'm not an athlete. So I don't need those things. I just want those things. But I have a strawberry watermelon Gatorade.
Is that what you were shaking?
Yes, it is, actually. Megan, you spoke up first, and I heard you grip it and rip it before the podcast started. So what are you drinking?
Rip it and rip it, baby.
What are you playing? And what games have you beaten this week? Because you're on a mission recently.
I am. I have felt very motivated in the game space. As for my beverage, I'm drinking another Liquid Death. I think that's what I had last time. I'm really into their Armless Palmer. Which is, they have like a new tea line, but it's like an Arnold Palmer, but not a sweet. It's probably just a repeat of what I said last time. So yeah, I'm not going to go into it. I'm doing okay. I didn't take Monday and Tuesday off this week, like I had talked about. So shame on me, but I am working a half day tomorrow. So that's exciting. As for games, I didn't beat anything this week, but I have jumped into the new Final Fantasy game. I don't know if either of you have read anything about it or watched any of it.
I've seen a lot of good reviews.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people who are upset being like, this isn't the Final Fantasy I grew up with. So, you know.
It's not, though. I don't sound that grumpy about it. So, like, I won't go into too much detail because I know Tom plans on playing it and I'd like to talk with him about it. But, like, I like it. I don't love it. I don't love it as a Final Fantasy game, to be honest.
But you love it as an action game?
As an action game, it's good. The story is Game of Thrones, which I don't hate. The story is cool. There are some fight sequences that I really like. Like, they're super cinematic because you're fighting with, they call them the icons. So you have, like, Shiva, you have Ifrit. So, like, you are actually fighting as an icon against other icons.
The icon, like, Clive.
Yeah. But they did away with, like, what makes it an RPG. Like, the only items you need to buy would be a potion, a hyper potion, and then 2 potions that, like, increase strength and maybe defense for a minute or less. Like, you don't have to worry about Phoenix Downs, even, like, weapons, armor, all that stuff. It's super simplified. I just miss it. Like, it's not, I don't know.
Yeah, see, like, that's not selling me on it. That's kind of making me feel, like, worse towards it. Is it difficult? I've seen some people complaining about difficulty.
No, so they have 2 different modes. They have story-based and action-based. And story-based, I think, is, like, their easy mode, and action-based is their, like, medium mode, which I'm playing on action-based. But it's not hard, and if, like, you're in a big boss fight and say you die, you come back with all of your items replenished. So you don't have to worry about, like, I went into a boss battle with, like, 1 potion and 1 hyper potion, and it was, like, a 2 or 3 stage battle, so I was screwed. But they killed me. I came back with full everything. So there's no like real worry if you tank it. Um Even like your partners, like you have a dog, um, that helps you. You have other NPCs, but you have no control over them at all. The only control they give you is like D-pad control, where like your canine companion, you can direct him to like bite someone or knock someone up in the air for you or heal you. And the amount of like healing that he does for you is nothing. Um, and that's the only thing you get to control. All of the other NPCs that like are in your party, they don't, like, you have no control over anything. Um, yeah, it's weird. I'm not crazy about it. Um, the fighting is even different from like Final Fantasy 15 and even Final Fantasy 7 remake. Now it's just like different combos that you can do with like controllers. It's a lot of button mashing. You can parry attacks and things like that, or you have like your stronger abilities, but they have like a refresh or a recharge. Like there's no magic, there's nothing like that. You just need to wait for the ability to recharge before you can use it again. The side quests are super basic. They're all like fetch quests. It's like go to this person and get wood for me, or get dirt, or go kill some goblins. Super simple. It's not in depth. Like I was really hoping for another Final Fantasy 15, like more open world, less road trip. But like that open world concept, even like getting bounties and things like that. But there's none of that. It's not open world. They said that they decided to get away from open world after, all of the negativity from Final Fantasy 15. So I'm disappointed with it as a Final Fantasy game, as an RPG. Like you said, Pinto, it's an action game. It I don't know. Some parts of it are really cool, like the story will pull me in, but overall, it's just like meh.
That's a bummer to me.
Yeah.
Like everything you've said, I know you guys can't see my face, but I was doing a stink face the whole time. Not a stank face, which is a good face, but a stink face. And I was like, ooh, none of this sounds appealing to me.
Well, like even talking to Christy about it, I'm like, I really want to like this game a lot. And like visually it's beautiful. It looks great. Like they really put a ton of time into that. And even the bigger boss battles, it like I'm a big fan of giant monsters. So it feels like you are, like Godzilla or something like that taking on Mothra. Like that is cool to me. I really enjoy that. But I don't know. It's kind of a letdown.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens when Tom plays it, if Tom plays it.
Have you
I
played it a
was
lot? Like how far in do you think you are?
I don't know how many hours I put into it. Even like as far as story, it's hard to gauge where I am. I don't know if I'm like 25 or 50% of the way through. I think they said you can finish the main story in like 20-ish hours.
Damn.
But I really don't know how long I've played. But like I played for a solid amount of time. I played the Friday, I think the day after I got it, and then a little bit on the weekend off and on while I did other stuff. So like I've invested time into it. I really
Yeah.
have. And I'll go back to it. Like I'll finish it. I want to see how the story ends, but as far as what I was expecting versus what they put out, I was let down. So we'll see. But overall, it's gotten good reviews,
Yeah.
and I think they're just reviewing it from like a game standpoint.
Right.
Like how does it compare to the other games in the series? Doing less of that.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't say anything because I have not played it. I don't own a
Yeah.
PlayStation 5. So I don't know when I'll get to play it, but this does not make me want to play it. Your
Yeah,
review does not make me want to play it.
definitely wait.
I might pull a Fleming on this one and just watch someone play it on YouTube.
Hmm.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's really what I've been playing. That, and I bought a game on Steam, Mini Motorways. I don't know if either of you have played Dwarf Romantic. I know Tom has. It's like a light city builder tile-based game. Um, Super simple, not stressful at all. You're just building roadways in cities. Like there's Tokyo, there's Busan, there's London. You have different terrain that you have to deal with, like mountains, rivers. Um, the game goes through like a weekly cycle, and then you can pick up more roads or roundabouts or motorways. But you can only pick from like a certain set of things each time. So it's you like trying to figure out the best way to get one vehicle from one place to another. I really like it. I've put a lot of time into that. I'll sit and play it for a few hours and listen to a podcast or watch like a tabletop RPG or something like that. But that's all I've really been doing this week. So that's enough from me. Fleming, how are you? What are you drinking? What are you playing, if anything?
I have two beverages tonight, so you've been seeing me sip on my iced tea here.
Your
I
Marauders
was like,
map?
your brown drink. I didn't know what
Yes,
it was, but
it is my iced tea with just a little bit of lemonade in it too. But not much. There was just like the tiniest little bit left, so I just dumped it in there. But I also have, and I haven't been drinking it because I wanted to leave it till I could talk. When we were up in Maine a couple weeks ago,
that
we
looks
bought
like a
Maine
beer
root
bottle.
beer.
Oh,
It's not a beer
Oh.
bottle, it's root beer, beer of root. And yes, it is okay. It has natural cane sugar, which I thought that I'd like, but it makes like root beer taste very different to me because like I don't drink a lot of like cane sugared root beers, so it's good. It's not my favorite. In fact, we also bought blueberry soda, which is blueberries are very popular up there, obviously. Or if you didn't know, well now you do.
Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. And so we bought those as well. I prefer that much more over this, and that has natural cane sugar too. So I just don't know why I'm not liking this root beer as much, but it's okay. So that's my secondary drink. That's my dinner drink, and I just didn't quite finish it yet. So I'll probably finish that up during the podcast. Anyway, this may end up turning into a slight rant. I will try to avoid it. It's not about games, but
I was about to say someone's been playing Madden.
No. I will wait to. Actually, I should see what last year's Madden costs now because I might buy it if it's like $10. I don't care about all the new players and stuff. I just play with like players that are in the game and typically want to get to like auto-generated characters anyway. So I'll see how much that one costs versus buying the new one for $60. No, it's not exactly game related. So I have played games. I should say that. I played Age of Empires throughout the week. I love Age of Empires, and I'm playing way too much of it again because it's such a good game. So that's what I've been playing this week. But this past weekend, if you remember, I had mentioned that I got 3 games from Gaming Daddy. Again, thank you so much, Gaming Daddy. Greatly appreciate it. And I was going to play one this past weekend, but I literally did not have time because it was our baby shower for our baby, and I got roped into making the chicken salad. And so that sounds like, oh, whatever, it's just chicken salad. But when you're making chicken salad for 30 people and you're doing Mike's chicken salad, which involves taking...
How many chickens did you need? Did
Well,
you do like a whole roast chicken and break it down?
So, yes, kind of.
He's going to tell
So
us
yeah, here's the tale of Mike and the chicken salad. So somehow I got roped into making the chicken salad, which I didn't mind. Found out it was like 30-ish people that were, ultimately going to attend, and originally it was like 50 that were invited. And when I heard that, I gave a rough number for 50. So I had said that the way I do my chicken salad, obviously, I put, my celery, my onion. I also add grapes into it because some people in our families like grapes, and I was like, sure, I'll do grapes. I don't mind. But they're like, but the chicken component of it, I buy the rotisserie chickens. So I go to Costco or you go to Sam's or whatever, buy the chicken, you shred the chicken, it turns into like a really delicious chicken salad, and it makes it easy because you don't have to cook the chicken yourself and then go through that whole ordeal. And so they bought me 5 of them, and to shred off 5, full rotisserie chickens takes a long time. To cut up all the celery for that much chicken takes a long time. So I spent like my Friday evening working on it, and then Saturday was a whole other problem, and I had to support other people setting up for this thing that, as the man, I'm kind of involved. Depends. Maybe the internet will hate me for saying that. Like, it depends on your family, but like typically men are not involved in baby showers or bridal showers and stuff like that. But I was very much involved in the preparation. So by the end of it, when I came back and like collected all the presents, I was exhausted. I fell asleep. I didn't wake up till Sunday sometime, and then I took a nap on Sunday, and I could not function at all on Sunday. So I may have played a little bit of Age of Empires then, but I couldn't start a new game and try to learn. So what I'm getting at, and maybe this wasn't quite as big of a rage as
is that you didn't get to play any of the games that you got for your birthday. I didn't get to play
any of the games for my birthday because I had to make chicken salad. And so
damn it.
It's not.
I have another question though. Well, 2 questions actually.
Go ahead.
First was chicken salad the main dish? And second, how much chicken salad did and do you have left?
Wonderful questions. I failed to mention that we put the chicken salad on croissants, which we also buy from Costco, and they're like 12-pack. So there was 24 full sandwiches.
How many croissants do you have left?
Yeah. So there were 24 full-size croissants, which we cut in half, and those were like the things that some took half a sandwich, some people took a whole one. As of right now, though I've been eating chicken salad a lot over the past week or so, it's like a casserole, like 9x9 dish, and it's basically still full of chicken salad. But that's the last of it, and then we'll be done. And we did take most of it because Amy's parents didn't want to have it, and they said we could take we could take it. They paid for it all, which was great. So I've been eating their chicken salad basically, but I did do all the labor for it. So there's that too. But it's a lot of chicken salad, and yes, there's been much. In regards to how many croissants are left, I believe at this point there's only like 1, because the amount of chicken salad that could fit on a croissant was not very equal. So there was plenty of leftover chicken salad and very few croissants left. So we're about to switch to bread to eat our chicken salad. But I've eaten a lot of chicken salad this week, and now I've been talking about chicken salad for 4 or 5 minutes. It wasn't as much of a rage as I thought it would be because I'm trying to be nice about it. But I didn't get to play any of my new games, and that made me sad because I really did want to play one, start up something new, and talk about it. So this weekend, I did confirm we have nothing to do. So I will start one of the games. I'm just not sure which. So we'll find out this weekend. Maybe I'll start all 3 and play the one that interests me most after like an hour of playing or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I did play AoE 2, Age of Empires 2, throughout this week. I probably could have started a new game, but typically by 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, depending on when I can start playing games, I'm just tired. And it's just hard for me to start a new game unless it's the weekend. So yeah, I'm kind of a uninteresting person this week, and I apologize. But
unless someone is really into chicken salad,
which
it sounds like you're
are making their night.
I may be making someone's night when I talk about chicken salad. The most important thing to remember when you make your chicken salad is to make sure that your celery and your onion are small pieces. Because if it's too big, it just doesn't work. And then the second. And people, for some reason, forget this. I don't know why, but they do. Make sure you put your black pepper in, because if you don't put your black pepper, it's not as good. Just make sure you get your black pepper in your chicken salad. That's the end of the chicken salad rant. I hope some guy comments on YouTube being like, I happen to love chicken salad or something like that. And if you need me to, I will even comment, and you can pin that comment, my recipe for chicken salad. So Anyway, I have been playing AoE 2. And what's interesting about that is the fact that Penta, you have watched him before, and I think you mentioned him last week. Day 9 started playing AoE 2 again,
Ooh.
which I started watching his games, and it was very interesting to see how a StarCraft player who is very, very familiar with StarCraft and maybe Warcraft, but mostly StarCraft, plays a different RTS game. It's really funny. Like, you're not supposed to scout with villagers, and he was scouting with villagers, and I found that interesting. So it's been kind of cool to watch somebody else play, someone who I highly respect and I know is a good overall just video game player, and seeing that they make errors that are serious errors that need to be corrected. But the reason I bring that up too, though, is because in like the first video he posted to YouTube, so I imagine his first hour or two of playing on Twitch, where he does most of his streaming. This is what I want to talk about basically, is he said something along the lines of, if I have a question, I will ask. Otherwise, don't give me your advice, is kind of what he said. I don't remember his exact wording, but it was something along those lines. So I'm just curious for you two, if you guys would want people to give you commentary on your game style, how you play a game. It could be competitive, it could not be competitive. Like, it could be, a story of The Last of Us, and you're like, hey, if you do this, it's better or something. I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are.
Bricks.
I give Megan shit all the time for how she plays games, so.
Okay. Well, that's
but
good to know.
To be fair, it's not malicious, and it's also just kind of like, I would personally play the game differently, which also would probably equate to not playing the game as well, because I'm not as thorough as Megan is when she plays.
I play incredibly slow, and Pinto loves to give me shit for this. But I also, if I'm playing a game, it's going to probably be the last time I ever play it, because I don't often repeat games. So I like to take everything in, and I try to find all of the little, nuggets that I can. And I think it drives people crazy a little bit. But as far as games are concerned, if people want to give me, their tips and tricks or criticisms, whatever, that doesn't mean I'm going to listen to it. But I might learn something that I didn't know about the game that could improve the overall experience. I don't know if I play enough games where, I'm not playing an FPS all the time, or I'm not playing something like AoE, but I just, if people want to say whatever they want to say, they can, but I probably 85% of the time, I'm just going to ignore it. But Pinto did give me the great tip of bricks in The Last of Us, and it changed my life. So
okay, yeah. I feel like it might be the fact that it was Twitch chat, and that feels weird.
That's a big thing.
Though I will say, at least the AoE 2 community, it's probably better than I compare it to StarCraft or Counter-Strike, and I would think both of those two would be more toxic than AoE 2. That may be totally wrong, but just what I have watched and seen comments on, it just seems like AoE 2, because it's an older man's game, if you will. It just
a gentleman's game.
Yeah, you get a little bit more older people nostalgia kind of players.
30 and up.
Yeah, versus a StarCraft and a Counter-Strike, where you do have older people, but you always have new young people coming in nonstop too. So it's just funny because he made his career based on telling people how to improve, but then people try to give him advice, and I couldn't see the Twitch chat to know exactly what they were saying. But like I said, some of the things are just totally wrong play style. Villagers are essential. You don't want to pull them off of their resource gathering, because even one puts you at a significant disadvantage in that game. That's a good comment to give somebody, and I would imagine whether it came from Twitch or it came from somewhere else, I'd probably take it to at least to some degree, okay, I'll try it, let's see what happens. And it's just surprising that he was stop giving me advice. I was that was weird. I don't know.
Well, also I know because I've watched a lot of Day 9, and just including games that are completely out of his playstyle, and one of his favorite things he always says is he loves making mistakes. So, like, and I kind of get that too, to some regard at least. I think I do kind of follow that same mentality where, like, if I start getting frustrated and I need advice, I will ask for it, but otherwise I kind of just like learning how to do it myself.
That's a good point too. Yeah, I think I'm the opposite because the way I look at it is like, unless I'm the first person to play a game, somebody else has probably played more hours, invested time in like a component of the game that I don't know, and it could be any game too. Like it could be the Outlast Trials, which I know all three of us have played recently, and someone could say, "Hey, this rig is awful," where this rig is pretty good. You might want to use this rig for optimal play, at least in current meta. Like I go, oh, okay, I don't have to learn that myself. I could just start to play more optimally. I think it's a different mindset of like discovery versus like optimization, and I definitely lean more towards optimization. So,
You don't say.
Yeah. So if somebody said to me like, hey, pulling a villager in AoE2 is like a bad idea. You should never be scouting with one. Like it needs to be doing something or have a purpose. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll follow that person's mindset, because I'm not at the highest level of any competitive game, at least, but any game in general, where I could be like, no, I know better than you about why I'm pulling this villager off to scout or do something. And typically everything should come back to like a normal play style, if you will, in that kind of game. So it was just really interesting to me. And like I said, I haven't watched him in forever, and I haven't watched much AoE 2, but like even having played a little bit, I was like, this doesn't seem like optimal play. And it was just very interesting to hear that comment kind of come out of him. So I wanted to mention that because that was what I played in the past week in the video I watched while making chicken salad, actually. So to bring it all back
To chicken salad.
To bring it all back to chicken
Where
salad,
it all
I
began.
not eat chicken salad as soon as this batch is done. I'm like not eating it for probably 4 months or so. I'll do it when the apple season comes into play, because I put apples sometimes in. That's also really good, just so everyone knows. Anyway.
For your hot chicken salad tips.
For hot chicken salad tips, you can follow me on YouTube. I'm just kidding.
When's the last time you uploaded anything to your YouTube channel?
Like 9 years ago. It might actually be longer. It was I took it down, but it was a game like a Grandmaster versus me in StarCraft from like 2012 or so, right when I was doing my own Twitch streaming. I was saving the downloads and then uploading a commentary of what I was doing and why I did it and how I thought I could do better. But I only did a couple of them because I stopped kind of playing StarCraft right around then when Heart of the Swarm came out like a year later. But anyway, enough about me and chicken salad. Pinto, do you have any other interesting topics? I don't even remember at this point. It's been 30 minutes. Have you told us what you've been playing? How you doing? What you're drinking? I think you said
what
drinking.
I was drinking, yeah.
You said Gatorade. But outside of that, what's going on with you? How you doing?
Well, when I make chicken salad, I too put grapes into it, and I also like to put craisins in mine and walnuts, as long as I know everyone doesn't have a nut allergy. But
yes,
that's how I make my chicken salad.
I'll put almonds as well sometimes too, just as a slip in my nut. Or my nut.
Oh God, never gonna
boy.
say it that way. Gaming wise, we played a little bit of Played Up last week after the podcast, and just today, as of this recording, they updated Played Up and added in a new restaurant type, which is the coffee shop. So I look forward to trying that out. I have also been playing Legend of Legaia still. I'm very close to the end of that game. I like that game. I want to be done with it. I'm just powering through it, and I think I'll have like 3 or 4 updates left to put on the old website, which is interesting because I haven't even started uploading that game yet. But I just try to stay really far ahead on those because they take an ass long time. And what I want to play after that is I downloaded a ROM hack of Super Mario RPG called Super Mario Armageddon. I think I may have mentioned this last week.
You did, I think.
I popped into it just to give it a try and see how it works because I've never tried playing a ROM hack before. And the first thing that happened when I went into Bowser's Castle was Rosalina appeared. And I was like, Wow. Rosalina didn't even exist when this game came out, so I do think this is going to be very different. And when you start that game in the original, Mario has 20 HP, 250 HP to start, so they've really scaled up the numbers, and they just made battles more, I don't know if I want to say more difficult, but longer.
Did they give you like 9,999 HP instead of 999, maybe?
I don't know yet. I'll let you know
Okay.
the further I get into it, but
Yeah.
I will be recording that and uploading it as well. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. It looks like they've added a lot of stuff, a lot of content. I don't know if they've altered the story, but they've added new weapons, new enemies, etc. So it's going to be a completely blind playthrough, which I normally don't record and do because I like to act like I'm a professional. I'm not. So we'll see about that. I also played a little bit of Overcooked. Time has healed all wounds. Also, I wasn't playing with you guys, so that makes it a little easier. Sorry, I'm looking at my audio output, and it looks like it was cranking hard to one side. I don't know why that would be. It seems to have solved itself. I'll fix it in post. And I'm upset. I'm not upset that Tom's on vacation. Good for Tom. But guys, I really want to play Sons of the Forest.
Me too.
I have wanted to for a while now. I just blew my audio up too. Interesting enough. Sorry, but yeah, I've wanted to as well, and it's been on my mind, especially now that everybody's got their new computers and they're all settled in with them. So I'd love to play as well.
I do want to record it. I'll leave that up to you guys. But I saw that one of my preferred YouTubers, Markiplier, started uploading Sons of the Forest, and I want to watch it, but I'm not going to because I haven't played the game yet, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Have they done a lot of updates? Do you know? Has anyone
A fair
tracked
amount?
that?
Yeah, they
Okay.
I have my Steam auto update pretty much, like most games, not everything, but it looks like they have put in quite a few updates. Because you only played it that little bit one time, right?
Just an hour of basically the base building, and I went into a cave and died. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll try that too, just to get a feel
Ooh.
for it.
yeah, they have a rifle, drivable carts. That I'm just looking at their last update. Yeah, drivable golf carts, dedicated servers, a new end boss battle. So like, this is one thing I'll say about like alphas and all that or beta tests and stuff. Like, I don't want to play the game and then find out like they've added a new final boss actually or something in the future. It's the one reason why I liked when we played the forest, because what we did was like we built the base and then we like stopped playing, if I remember right, for a while, and then restarted when the campaign came out, like the actual storyline. And so like that to me is nicer, that like you're not getting you're not getting spoiled, you're not like getting kind of glitched to the end of the game basically. You're getting to play the whole game, so it's nice to see maybe they've done some improvement to the campaign and it might be getting closer to being at least somewhat complete. That's the only like fear I have about playing the game now.
Yeah, but I think that, I mean, we kind of take our time when we play games, which I enjoy. Like,
Yeah.
so because we don't know when the next hotness that we're all going to jump on is going to come out. Honestly,
Yeah,
because I remember
definitely.
after playing Raft in the Forest, there was a while where we were just kind of floating around nebulously, being like, "What game should we play?"
Well, then we did DayZ, right? After that?
We did the Wild 8, which didn't
Well,
really do anything. Didn't do much for us.
Yeah.
But I also saw that City Skylines 2 is on the way, which kind of makes me want to go back and play City Skylines 1. I think I mentioned that not that long ago. That's a Paradox game. I didn't know that.
Yes, It is. Did you I didn't read any of the articles. I don't know if you guys got like pushed any of these on like Google or whatever, but I was getting push notifications, or like at least like pushed articles when you do like a Google search for City Skylines 2 and how it's like realistic to like the economic situation that we're in or something. Like that was the title of the article.
Oh no.
And it was
Oh.
Okay, yeah, it says I read the caption part of it, so I didn't actually read the whole article. So I might be totally off. Feel free to start Googling as I go through this. But my understanding is that they've like made it so, there's like the really wealthy and there's also like potentially like very poor looking people, and a lot of the poorer people are like what in our world would be like your young millennials or your Gen Z or whatever it is, kids and stuff. Like all of them look very like slummy or like don't have quite as much like material possessions and stuff. So like the people walking are gonna be more of that age, and the people driving would be older people. That's what I've heard, or at least I kind of took from that article. But it's really like interesting if that's actually something they did to try to make it more realistic to actual cities today. I have to Google it now if you guys didn't.
I don't know how I
No.
feel about that.
Yeah,
That seems kind of
I don't feel great.
prejudiced. But
Um,
I'll wait and see, I guess. We're doing some real-time Google research right now.
I'm doing Google research. Please talk amongst yourselves while I look at this. Yeah, okay, here it is. So, one of the factors that'll help this new AI figure out where to send people around your bustling city is cost, which, in a sadly relatable way, has had a negative impact on its younger residents. The cost of things like transportation and parking is incredibly influential in where young people will go in the city building simulator, because in the name of realism, young people have no money here.
I mean, they're not wrong, but it's
Thanks, game.
it's kind of rude to just say it like that.
Yeah, so Paradox is really cool with like they've always been more of an AI generated or AI, focused game developer. And it's gotten even better as AIs continue to improve, and obviously, computers are able to run these games to that full simulation. But yeah, I saw this article like sent to me, and that's what I was right about what it kind of said. It's that younger residents will like do things that are cheaper and will like be in like live in the poor like homes and stuff like that. And it's really funny to me to imagine playing City Skylines 2 and be like, yeah, that's what a lot of my generation's dealing with. Oh, that sucks. Or the younger generation than us. So really funny how they've like implemented stuff like that.
I feel very split opinion on that. Like, yeah, it's realistic, but damn.
Yeah, well, like in World War II, there were Black American like there was racial segmentation in the army and the air force and the like. So you had regiments that were like, the black, people's regiments.
Yeah.
Like I would have wanted to see them in Hearts of Iron 5, make it so like the certain regiments, are like the character models are all black people. Like that would bother me even if that's realistic. And obviously that one's even more loaded, but just like it's just to me like why do you need to put that in? I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah.
And of course that one's much more extreme, I think, than just gentrification, if you will, of the youth.
I know that like I know I have spoken about this before on realism in games. It gets to a point where it's like a little too much in some games. Like I know I've said before, if eating in a game makes sense, it gives you health or energy or whatever, don't make me have to poop in the game. Like,
But you get cool weapons if you play Death Stranding.
You can what?
You can
When
poop
you-
in Death Stranding?
Yeah, when you use the bathroom or shower, they collect the fluids and other things, and they turn them into weapons that you can use.
Can you like boil human flesh and get fat and make yourself some soap like they did in
No.
Fight Club.
Okay,
Not-
Fight
not
Club?
that
Okay,
far.
Okay, at least that's good. Yeah, no, Ark did that too, right? Where you would poop, and like it was also one of those that like happened randomly too. Like it would just be you're running around with your friends, and all of a sudden your character poops. It's just like, haha, he pooped.
There wasn't like a meter like there is in The Sims. The Sims is
No.
the one game that I will excuse it in because you're simulating a human life. Obviously,
Yeah.
pooping is you spend a certain percentage of your life pooping. I don't know how much. It
Yeah.
probably varies from person to person.
Probably does. Tom, higher. But no, yeah, in Arc, it was like your character every like had like a random generator basically for pooping, and like the longer it had been, the more likely you were. You could also press Z and like clear the generator and automatically poop right then. But you couldn't do it like a million times back to back
Well,
unless there's a
no,
mod.
you're empty.
Unless there's one. Yeah, you're empty. But if you ate a lot of food, your generator would like also get like a modifier and you could poop then more quickly. If I remember right. It's been a long time since I played Ark. But the thing is that you could eat your poop
Oh no,
and it
Nope.
would make you sick, but it would give you a
Good.
little bit of your hunger back.
desperate times, man.
Yeah, yeah, desperate times. And then you could also throw your poop at other people. So that was another thing. Now
Yeah.
you guys know about Ark.
Yeah, I've never played that game. It sounded cool in theory. I don't know, but I just never got around to playing it.
It was a very extreme graphical game, I
Yeah.
think, when back when it first came out. I think your computer would have struggled.
I think that was a. I'm pretty sure I own it through Epic, but
You do now, yeah. An Arc 2 is coming out as well at some point.
With
So
Vin
we'll see.
Diesel.
With Vin Diesel?
Uh-huh.
Really? Oh God.
family.
Okay. That's the thing.
I also recently I started playing Burnout 3 again because I really like that game, and going back to it, it's not as fun as it was when I was, I don't know, 15.
That's happened to me too, though, man. Like I'll be like, this game was awesome, and I'll go back and play it. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't that good. Like it doesn't happen too often because typically the games that I played, like I still have some degree of nostalgia for, but it has happened with some games where I'm like, oh, this game wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, sometimes memories, you just gotta leave the memories alone, man.
Yep. Well, I think I told you guys when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, I watched a person on YouTube like talk about how much better the first cutscene with Aerith in Midgar was
Yeah.
versus the original. And like in the original, it's so basic. If you go back and watch it, she's just like she doesn't even like bend down. Her body just kind of shrinks or something like that to pick up the flower. And like they're obviously very basic models. There are no facial expressions and the like. There's obviously no voiceover as well. And just like it's really interesting because like I think of that with like a nostalgia, like that was like one of my
Amazing.
games as a
Yeah.
as a kid. It was the first Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy that was like I guess 3D, like you could move anywhere, we weren't like just sprites, and like that was really cool too. And then you look back at it and you're just like, was this game actually as good? If I go back and play it, will I like it as much? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yes,
I would.
I think
I mean,
so.
I played Final Fantasy IX. I told you, like a year ago on the
You didn't even
podcast. I was
finish
playing
it.
it. I did not. I got up to the Black Mage Village and stopped right then, which is still pretty early in the game.
Yeah,
Honestly.
that's only disc 2, I
Um,
think.
Yeah, well, I was playing on the Switch, so I
Oh.
don't know discs, but
That's my favorite Final Fantasy still.
yeah. And even with like that game, obviously was newer and graphics were better even by that point. But like that game, I didn't have any problem with the graphics. I thought it was still such a fun game to play.
Yeah, going back and playing old games is apparently that's my niche on the podcast.
Well, you're doing it with Legend of Legaia, and if I remember right, you said a couple weeks ago that you were like as a little kid you didn't care how slow the fights went, but now the
Right.
fights take like forever, and you're like, oh my God, that's why we didn't do this.
Yeah.
Or like that's why the games didn't keep doing this.
But one thing I've really thought about as I've gone through it, because I again, like I said earlier, I like it a lot. I'm ready to be done with it though. There is a lot of horror elements in that game, like biological horror elements, where I was like, oh my God, if this were redone today with like a modern graphics and sound design, this game could be scary as hell as an RPG, which is really fascinating to me. That I think it would be something that you don't really see. Like, survival horror and RPG are genres that don't really fit well together, at least in my experience. I'm sure there are some out there, but even with PlayStation 1 Lego person graphics, there are parts of this game that are unsettling, and I'm like, wow, it could be really, really cool redone with modern day graphics. They're even not even modern day, but just better graphics. So if I knew anything about anything when it came to that, maybe I'd try it, but I don't.
Well, you would also run into, if you started to try to give it to people, run into
Copyright
IP
issues
and copyright issues, yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's fascinating how I haven't seen an RPG that kind of tries to do that. The only one that I can really think of besides that is there are certain parts in Breath of Fire 4 where, again, it's like biological horror and mutations done to people that I'm like, woo, that's kind of really dark for like a PlayStation game. But that's my 2 cents on that, or 3 cents, or 4 cents.
I would say it was 4 cents.
All of the change.
Yeah.
1 penny short of a nickel, but still a good amount.
Dude, penny, can we just get rid of pennies?
Yeah, I don't know the last time I actually used a penny.
Quarters are the only coins that are worth anything, let's be honest.
Wow.
I would.
Do you disagree, Megan?
All coins are important.
I would have disagreed with you maybe 5 years ago with like nickels and dimes, simply because like if you were at a vending machine, like it was like sometimes like $1.35 or something, because they didn't want just 5 quarters, they wanted a little bit more. But nowadays, I mean, not that I'm like staring at vending machines all the time, but the couple times that I've
all the time.
Yeah, all the time I'm just staring at them. But every time I have looked at a vending machine recently, past couple of years, it's been like $1.50 or $1.75. There's no in between. So yeah, I would agree with you. It's the only place I can think of that I would ever use a nickel or a dime. I also hate the fact that dimes are so thin and small.
Tiny.
Like
tiny.
Like, why are nickels bigger? It makes no sense.
Little guys.
There's got to be a reason, but I don't know the reason, and it bothers me.
I actually just got an ad on my Facebook today that was some hardware store proudly proclaiming that they had a vending machine outside that still sold cans of soda for 50 cents. And I was like, why am I getting this ad? And I'm pretty sure the store wasn't even in, like, Pennsylvania where I live. So I don't know if it was a parody ad or, like, satire, or if some hardware store in, like, Saginaw, Michigan is pushing the fact that they have a 50-cent soda can machine to the entire country.
Well, that also bothers me, because those used to be 25-cent vending machines.
Yeah, how
like you know, if you went to
man.
Yeah, I know we are old, but if you went to Walmart and got the Walmart brand vending machine soda, it was like
this was not generic soda. This was not Sam's Choice Cola. I saw Code Red on that machine.
Whoa, okay, that's impressive, because that does not happen anymore. Let's take a road trip to Michigan.
I think I hid the ad because I was like, why am I seeing this? But yeah. Now, if you start selling Baja Blast in those machines, that's when you get at me. Oh, speaking of Baja Blast, Volcano Menu is back.
This is not a sponsored section. But
Taco Bell.
Okay.
We haven't asked for sponsors in weeks.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't. So Taco Bell or Yum Brands.
Yeah.
Reach out. Thank you.
Faco Bell, get at us.
Yeah. It's the Yum Brands promise. Come on, guys.
More for less. Okay, now that we're talking about Taco Bell and soda, I think we're about tapped out for this episode. Does anyone else have anything to add?
No. Well, okay. One quick little comment.
Chicken salad?
No, not chicken salad.
Okay.
There is going to be somebody, maybe not tomorrow when you upload, or next week whenever you upload this, maybe not in a month, But like 5 years down the future, it's gonna go like viral on YouTube, and someone's gonna watch it and be like, "Damn, I want Taco Bell now," and they're actually gonna go and get Taco Bell because they heard this video.
You're
so
welcome.
And I
Yum
hope that the
Brands.
volcano menu is still there when you go.
Yum Brands needs to give us some degree of commission now.
Also, bring back
For
the
that
blackjack taco.
Oh yeah, I agree.
What is that?
It had so it had a black shell.
Okay.
It didn't taste different, but it was the sauce on it. Do you even remember what it was, Fleming?
It was the Baja sauce.
Okay, the Baja
Yeah.
Ranch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah,
they
yeah.
even have that anymore. Like that
No.
sauce.
And thank God, because that's what got me sick, if I remember right.
Oh, that's why they got rid of it.
Well,
Yep.
this is a shining endorsement.
Yes, that is why I
Okay,
got food poisoning.
don't bring back the blackjack taco, even though Fleming was like, yes, 20 seconds ago.
Okay, bring it back. I just have to be careful with that sauce. I probably shouldn't get it at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday
yeah.
night.
All right, I think we're done here, unless we have any other Taco Bell items we want back. Cool Ranch, Doritos Locos, please. Anyone else?
I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right. Please make sure to check out our socials. You can just go to joypadpod.com, and that will link you to all the socials where they are all inactive, basically, except for Facebook, because I'm the one that does it, and YouTube. YouTube content has slowed down a bit, mostly because we're all adults and have lives and go on vacation and stuff, some of us at least, and we just haven't been able to get together to play games, but that'll come back around. We got a big old backlog of stuff you can check out. Guys, we've been doing this for 3 years now, so there's a lot on there. I like to think we've gotten better, maybe.
Sure.
All right, cool. Oh man, Tom's not here. Who's doing it?
Megan.
Aw, son of a bitch. Stay joyful.
That was great.
Damn.
That was great. All right,
Okay,
thanks everyone.
bye.
Bye.